Good afternoon, everyone. It's Tuesday, the 25th of April. It's 4:07 p.m. I had to do some overtime because we had to clean all this mess. Like, you see that brown stuff in the water? That's actually chocolate. So that was a pretty epic day today. Did a lot of assembly and did a lot of cleaning by the end of the day. We had to clean one of our industrial machine, chocolate industrial cover. So it's a machine that covers whatever you make out of chocolate. It's covering it with chocolate spread. So we have to clean that one. It was pretty fun. Now I'm driving in it. It's chocolate water. It's all over the place. Oh my God, what a day. I've been there for 8 hours and a half. That's a good day, like 8.5 hours a day. That's 0.5 hours more on my spare times. So I'm not against the idea. My windshield is all dusty. And it's raining slightly. Not enough to wash your car, just enough to mess it up. So, about my time travel project. Gyroscopic motions will not generate enough of a gravity pull unless it would be enormous, and using magnetic coils will not generate enough pull strength. It will just create a magnetic field, which is not necessarily what I need. Back in the day I thought I needed that, but I don't know, these days I'm stuck with this principle that I need a gravity field. Like, that is like the most unobtainable things right now. So I'm trying to think like Kosol did, and it's an old friend of mine from a long time ago, and he was on the same path as I was. I don't know, he was a police officer. I don't know if he still is. He's probably retired now. He's more spiritual than scientific. But what he designed, it's all the design that he made, he gave me, was related to anti-gravity, making a subspace ship, and he wanted to use a zero-point energy, which is feasible, but it's complicated. So one of his design that I saw is a sphere with a path of electromagnet that would guide whatever's inside the sphere in a spinning motion. So that makes sense, because if I had a sphere that I would fill out with a liquid and spin it at a very high rate of speed, like, I mean, an enormous rate of speed, like 10,000 RPM plus, like way plus, it would, I think it would generate a gravity field, like not a serious distortion, but just enough for what I need to do. And I already posed that CAD drawing on the forum, and it's really hard. Like, seriously, this is going to be hard to do. And it's one of the biggest challenge. I have fumes on my windshield, which helps it clean it better, because I painted the roof the other day, and some of the fume went on the lower part of the windshield. Next time I'll cover the windshield completely. So once this impossible task is achieved, making a gravity field, making a gravity field generator, then after this I'm just gonna have to work on the frequency generators, which is something that already exists, using an audio based frequency, and then using a pulse mode modulator to control other part of the machine. So it's all things that's gonna work out by themselves, you know. Homeless guy moving to Chambly. I don't know how well you're going to be greeted by the police. I hope you have a destination. The Chambly police are not the most grateful people there is to homeless people. So for now I'm gonna stick to this. I know that this little project I can do. I could do it by myself right now. Well, not right now because I don't have the cash for it, but I mean eventually it's something that I could make on a small scale. Like a ball the size of a softball. About 3-4 inch square inch, you know, it's something that I could make. I have all the resources at my disposal right now to make something on a small scale and see what it gives. So instead of spinning liquid metal or liquid mercury inside a spherical donut, tube donut, I would use a complete sphere and just gyroscopically turn everything that's inside. So yeah, I'm gonna work on that. That's my solution for gravity. Because if you think about it, the Earth mass is hurt by a giant, humongous ball of steel and fusion that is at the core of the Earth. So if this generates gravity, that little softball size ball of steel spinning at a high rate with liquid metal inside would do the exact same thing. It would do the exact same thing, literally. Except that I don't know what the gyroscopic force inside the Earth of that ball is, like the core. How fast does it spin? But I know, like I could spin mine, that little ball. I could spin it for about 10,000-12,000 RPM easily. I know some motor that could do that. So it's all a matter of doing it. Then once this is done, I can start working on the other parts. And then knowing that if this would be a portable device that I would carry with myself and walk through a time field, or I would need a vehicle where I understand the reason now why Doc Brown utilized a DeLorean, because the DeLorean first of all was made of stainless steel, which is a non-magnetic steel, and the entire body of the car was made of, guess what, fiberglass. That car was made of plastic and stainless steel. Those are awesome components to make a time machine. And that laser beam you saw shooting above the car are light waves that are creating distortion. And when the nuclear reaction happens inside the core of the engine, that creates the gravity field. So basically, the car was wrapping itself inside a bubble, opening the gate and going through in a fraction of a second. That's how it was going through times. The problem is, what was he using to control as a time control? That's the part that I don't get. Because making a time control is the most puzzling thing there is. You know, how do you calculate the pulsating light on the other cars and the bubble around it was creating a warp around the car, like a warp bubble. Probably that warp bubble was vibrating on a certain frequency, going through the space-time wall, and that warp bubble was guided to go to a certain place in time. That's just speculation. Like many things. And they're all speculation. Unless I get the funds I need and the place I need to do all of these things, it's gonna take me ages again to do that. back 10 years ago, I had the money and resource and place to do all of these things. It's just that something happened. I lost someone that was in my team, and that deterred me from the project. And my friend on the forums never stopped believing in me, and they always kept calling me and pushing me not to give up. And it took a long time, like 10 years, for me to decide to come back again. 2015, 2016, I slowly decided to come back to time travel with the conviction that I would actually do it this time around. Because with today's technology, I don't see how impossible it can be. We have all unimaginable things today. We have computer the size of phones, cell phones, that they have the calculating computation to do all the work we need. If I calculate back in the Philadelphia experiment, all they had was a control board with dials and knobs and lamps, and they barely had 1 kilobyte of calculation, of computation calculations, you know. It was not even a computer, it was just a command table. On and off switch with dials to tune different frequencies. And oh fuck, I forgot my watch and my damn it. And on the Apollo mission, the capsule that they had the computation, the power calculating computation of one of today's watch. So just imagine back then if I was to present them the silicon chip that they have in phones with quad-core computing power. Like this phone that I'm recording right now has a quad-core, a Snapdragon, not even a Snapdragon, a Qualcomm, with over 5 gigahertz of computing power. And this phone showed me pictures twice as fast as my first smartphone. So yeah, seriously, the biggest issue, the next stage, is calculating the time frequency. How to make a time control panel. I figured out something, but how do you tell your space warp bubble where you want to head? You know, on my experiment, oh my god, 13 minutes. Okay, I'll resume that tomorrow. I'm low on time on my phone. So, have a good day, everyone. I'll resume for part 2 tomorrow.